Happy to have my next guest on the show. It's Lucas Cassius Clay, who will be back in action on January the 13th at Shamrock FC 351 when he takes on Cody Carrillo. Lucas, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good, man. I'm excited to have you on here. And I see that this was a matchup that was supposed to happen, I guess, a few years back, you and Cody. So you must be pretty familiar with this guy.
Yes, sir. And that's why I was really excited that we can book this match because it never sat right with me that I had to pull out. I don't want people to think I run from guys. And I had a torn abdomen and I had to pull out of the fight we had scheduled previously. And I'm glad that I can right that wrong.
You're in a really good spot in your pro career. I know you're coming off a loss, but you got a great record. You've been in there with a lot of high level opposition. With this, opponent, this next opponent, Cody. I mean, he's a little bit older. He's 41. He's got a lot of experience, though, 16 and 22. Do you feel that pressure even more so to just not just go in and win, but to maybe beat him decisively?
Yes, I feel a lot of pressure to finish him in the first round because, yeah, he's very experienced, he's very skilled, and there's no question that he's tough. But I need to run through this guy to prove that I am at the top of the talent and skill of my weight division in the world because that's the ultimate goal. And, I need to be looking to fight guys that are like Islam Makachev's skill level. And in order to do that, I got to run through guys regionally like Cody.
I love it, man. We'll circle back to this fight again, January the 13th, Shamrock FC 351. I want to talk a little bit about camp through the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, people like to eat a little bit more. How difficult has that been for you just to kind of, not sway from the diet?
Oh, well, it's absolutely torture. But, especially Thanksgiving because my family goes all out on Thanksgiving. And really, it's not just that Thursday, but it's like a 7-day feast. And watching the table be smothered in my favorite foods and I can't gorge is torture.
Is that why the fight's at 170?
That's absolutely. I told him, I'm like, I'm not making 155 in the holidays, guys. I'm like, leave me alone.
Fair enough. That's exactly the way it should be, man. Well, that's got to be nice. So I'm sure you were able to indulge a little bit. What are the go tos for you, like for foods, that you'd like to eat, but you really can't during camp?
Are we talking about holidays or just
Both.
uh okay? So during the holidays, I'm crazy about my baked macaroni. My wife makes the best baked macaroni, and usually she makes two huge pans, one for everybody else and one for Lucas. And I'm like I'm a glutton, man. I love me some pizza, donuts, anything bread, sandwiches. I am a bread and meat guy and potatoes, but during camp I eat mostly a keto diet, just focusing on meats and veggies, and that gets boring. So I'm crazy about pizza all the time.
Yeah,
Thick crust, thin crust, don't matter. I have I have thick crust pizza as the entree and thin crust as the side.
you and me would get along great. We go in and close a pizza shop down. There's no doubt about it, my man.
Yeah.
Uh,
Amen.
how heavy do you get? What is that weight cut typically like to get to 155?
So I got as heavy as 195. And usually I'm walking around 185 if I'm healthy and in shape, which I usually am because I train even when I don't have a fight coming up. And yeah, I'm a dense 185 guy, and you put me next to some featherweights and lightweights, and we look like we're the same size, but I'm really walking around as heavy as some welterweights. But the I usually diet down to about 175 to 170 and then cut the rest in water, which it gets really tough sometimes. I'm a bigger lightweight. It's just what it is.
Do you envision yourself maybe a few years down the line fighting at welterweight, or do you feel like you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. But I've stood next to guys like Joaquin Buckley, and I'm like, oh, I see the difference between a real 170 and my excuse for 170. But eventually I do hope to put on some muscle and build my strength so that I can hang with the biggest of welterweights.
Okay, man, I love it. You mentioned Buckley. I know he's a guy that you have around you in camp. How has this camp been thus far?
Oh, this camp has been fantastic. I've trained with some of the best talent Missouri has to offer. A few quick shout outs, Dakota Bush, Trey Ogden, Mike Breeden. I visited the guys up in Marathon, and they're just a fantastic gym. But I got, just long story short, I've got to be pushed this camp by high level talent, and that has made me confident in my skill set and my toolbox for this fight.
Yeah, you mentioned Mike Breeden. That's a guy that you fought and beat before. And as I said earlier, Lucas, you're 9-3 right now. Where do you feel like you're at in your career as far as those next steps go? I know the goal has to be, fighting maybe in the UFC or PFL, right? Like, just tell me where you think you are and where you're hoping to be at the end of the year.
Well, originally, since I was a teenager, it's been a goal to make it to the UFC. But I put too much on that. And I did some self reflecting and realized because, I was supposed to be on Ultimate Fighter. Then when that didn't happen, I felt like the world was crashing down. And I was like, rather than sit here and sulk, how do I adapt to the situation? I'm like, if the UFC doesn't want me, maybe PFL will. And then I was thinking about Bellator before all of that happened. And Bellator is no more. But I really wouldn't want to go fight in ONE FC because I'm not a big fan of international travels all for every fight. I want
Yeah.
to fight for my domestic crowd. But I would like to fight on a big stage and be able to feed my family for at least a year or two off of nothing but my fighting, and in order to do that, I'm going to need to be making tens of thousands of dollars per bout, and I can't keep fighting at regional shows if I want to do that. That's where I feel like I'm at. And yeah, what you said about Mike Breed, and yeah, even though I beat him, that was like the scrap of a lifetime.
Yeah.
A shout out to that man.
Yeah. Again, you've also fought Trey Ogden, Aaron McKenzie. Out of all those guys, who was the toughest opponent that you shared the cage with?
Mike Breeden. I think Mike Breeden was. It was like it was I had to dig deep. I
Mm.
found out how long my shovel was, and while Trey Ogden and Aaron McKenzie did beat me, I did not feel like I got beat up. I felt like I got outscored, and because they're both intelligent fighters, great grapplers, and they had a game plan that beat my style. Those fights were lost stylistically, but Mike Breeden beat me up even though I won.
Tell me,
I was limping for days.
yeah. Yeah, we saw what he did in his last fight. I mean, yeah, the guy clearly, when he comes to fight, he comes to fight.
Yes, yes. And dude, and I'm like, I hit people, and I see them deter. Nobody wants to be hit two times in a row by me. Mike Breeden smiled and nodded after every shot. I'm like, what's it gonna? I felt like I was fighting in a dream. I was like, these punches aren't doing anything. What do I got to do to put you down, man?
So, you talked about the goal and where you want to be eventually. Do you have a day job now as well?
Yes, sir. So I've been a plumber for the last 5 years, and I was a lead drain specialist. I kind of just liked drain work, repair, excavation, and drain cleaning. And I just started my own business at the beginning of November. I fully committed, and that's what I've been doing the last couple of months. So this whole camp, I'm also running a brand new business. I got a wife and kid to support, so I that I gotta make sure the bills get paid. And yeah, that's my day job. I run a small drain service company.
All right. That sounds fantastic. So it must give you the ability to kind of pick and choose when you need to train, right? Are you able to kind of make your schedule?
That was absolutely why I did it,
Yeah.
because I need to be able to say, hey, I can't work right now without jeopardizing my livelihood. But with the freedom of scheduling my own jobs, and as long as I communicate with my customers, and I prioritize emergencies, and I work any hours of the day, but I need a specific gap time throughout the day that I can dedicate to training, because too often did I get stuck on a job that just went longer than I expected, and I end up being late or not being able to make practice. And my coaches are They're really good about staying on me, making sure I'm in the gym, even though I'm always in the gym. So I hate telling them like, yeah, I can't make it. Work kept me late because I don't want them thinking I'm slacking. Because if it's anything that I'm going to do, I'm going to give effort. I'm going
Mhm.
to show up, and I need everybody to know that on my team. But
So between your job, your training, and your family, man, you must be pretty spread thin. You must not have time for anything else.
no, I do not. I always try to pick up a new hobby, but got no time. I like gardening, but I can't learn to garden, and I forget to water the plants because I'm so busy. But yeah, I'm a busy man.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see you fight here next. Again, as I mentioned, Shamrock FC 351, January the 13th. This is going to be like a hometown crowd for you, right? You're going to have a lot of people in support of you here in attendance. What is the atmosphere? Do you expect it to be like come fight night?
And when they announced my name, uh, right before the fight, I think that the ground is going to vibrate from cheers for me because I can't believe how many people are showing up. People from my old neighborhood when I was a kid, people from school, people, family I forgot was still alive. It's like, sorry, I know it sounds bad, but I'm gonna have a lot of people there. It might be the last time I ever fight at home. I get to show out for my parents, family, friends, teammates. I might break. I'm gonna try to hold back the tears, but
And this might be a question that seems obvious with all of those people they are in support of you. That has to add more pressure on, right?
absolutely. And I tell everybody that when I was delivering tickets that people bought for me, I'm like, man, it's going to be a lot more pressure. I can't lose with you there. I can't lose with you there, but they all assured me they're just proud of me. They're proud that I chased this dream. This was a long shot. I would tell people that I was going to be a professional MMA fighter, and some people would just discard me and kind of scoff. And I haven't made it to the UFC yet, but I'm actually making my dreams come true. Like this, I can't believe that this actually happened like this, and neither can they, and they're happy to support me.
It's just going to make that win that much sweeter when you get it done on your home turf.
Amen. Yeah, I'm trying to go viral, and with all due respect to Cody, it is going to be at his expense, and I'm hoping everybody goes to work Monday, but I need that to be a pretty finish, and I got a lot riding on it.
Where is Cody most dangerous? Is there a certain area where you just got to really be very careful with him?
I feel like his forward moving with his striking is deceptively good because he puts together combos and covers distance well, and he's kind of awkward with his hands, and that's what knocks guys out because it's the ones you don't see coming and the awkward ones you never see coming. But I don't want to give too much away of my game plan, but that is a small hurdle for me to overcome because I'm very skilled, I'm very unorthodox, and I'm extremely well rounded. And I think that I'm better everywhere. So if for whatever reason I am uncomfortable with any aspect of the fight, I'll just change gears because I can do that. But yeah, that the most dangerous thing is his forward movement and the striking, particularly his boxing.
I'm guessing your prediction here is a first round knockout for yourself.
Yes. The first round, knockout or TKO, because I've seen him take some great shots and he doesn't like naps. So I, uh, I think I may have to just overwhelm him and make the ref step in. But yes, that's my prediction. I would rather say a first round finish.
Mhm. Are you going to be disappointed if you have to fight again regionally your next time out? If you get this win, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. I'm disappointed right now. But then again, this is the price of coming off of a loss. I blew it the last fight. I did not. I didn't fight aggressive enough. I had the skills to beat that guy, and now this is where I am. This is the punishment. But I see this as a small price to pay. This will be my last regional fight. I have to put that in the universe.
I love it, man. And for anyone that can't be there in attendance, where can they watch this online?
On Triller TV. There will be a link. I will post the link on my social media accounts. And you can find it on Shamrock's page, Shamrock FC.
All right, Lucas, great talking to you, my man. Again, January the 13th, Shamrock FC 351. Lucas Clay meets Cody Carrillo. Again, great talking to you for the first time. Before we do sign off, I want to give you the floor. If there's anyone you want to thank, anything you want to plug, the floor is yours.
Okay. I want to shout out sponsor Landair Cruise. If you want to take a vacation, hit them up. I love you, everybody at SCMMA. You've been a great family, almost better than my own blood family. And my beautiful wife and children, I love you. And thank you for everybody. Love is hard to come by, and I am saturated in love, and I am so grateful.